Hey everybody, it's Michelle Mahoney. Today I want to talk about virtual learning and the talk with your kids. Have you had the talk yet? It is super important to have that conversation with your kids this year. So, whether your school or your district is doing a hybrid model, or if you're fully going back, if you're doing some digital, some not digital, we really don't know what the future is going to hold, right? So, we might all be going back physically right now into the classroom, but then in a couple of months, we might have to go back to a virtual platform. Are your kids ready for that? Is your family ready for that? Are you ready for that? Have you had the talk with your kids about what the upcoming school year is going to be like? And I don't just mean, you're cooking in the kitchen and they're sitting at the TV and you're saying, hey, are you going to be ready for this year? It's going to be different. And they're like, yeah, and then it's kind of over with. You really should think about having a sit down conversation with your children, your kids, whoever you're having go. You may have one kid or more. But you might want to think about sitting down at the kitchen table and saying, hey, let's talk about next year and what it might look like. Here's what your district says. So make sure you know your school's plan first before you sit down with your children. Make sure you've discussed it with anyone else that's going to be, helping with pickups or staying home with the virtual learning, like your nanny or a spouse or grandparents, whoever may be helping you. It's important to talk to them about what your plan is and then sit down and have the conversation with your children about what the future may look like. So one of the things that you should talk about is your expectations. So maybe some days your children are staying home. Maybe Monday, Wednesday they're going to school, but then Tuesday, Thursday they're staying home, and then Friday maybe alternate, right? That's just one of the scenarios that I've heard. So you want to talk about the expectations. What's the wake up time? Does your child have to get dressed? Are they allowed to stay in pajamas? What's your goal? Do you want them to have a regular schedule? In my opinion, I think that your children should have the same wake up time every day regardless, and they should also get dressed and be ready, because when you feel ready, you're going to be ready. So staying in jammies all day is sometimes, we don't think about it, but our mental health can come down from that. So it might be a good idea to think about those expectations that you want your kids to have and then address that now, not, when school starts and then it's Thursday and like, well, I don't have to go to school today. I'm only doing digital learning, so I'm going to stay in my jammies. Talk about that ahead of time and say, no, we're still following a school schedule. Maybe you're still going to go school shopping and buy new clothes and new supplies and materials, and we can still have a school year and make it a great one, even though things are a little bit different this year. And then have that talk about, what the flexibility might need to be. Maybe right now we're going back physically, and then maybe in 2 months we might have a spike of something, and then you have to go back fully virtual learning. Are your children ready for that? Are they going to be prepared? Are they someone that's maybe needs that rigid schedule, and then something changing like that is huge and detrimental? You want to talk about that ahead of time and what's going to happen and how you're going to handle that ahead of time if that's going to happen. Mention that might be a possibility. In addition to the expectations, you may also want to talk to your children about where in the house they are expected to do their work. Even if it's just homework, if they're going to a physical location and then they're coming home, having that set expectation of, the kitchen tables where you're doing your homework or where you're going to remote learn, or, whatever projects you have to do are going to be done in this space. It's important to have that set up so that the children know what to expect, where everything will be. You never want them to be ready for the virtual learning, signing on, they have everything, and then they don't have their headphones, or they don't have a pencil or a whiteboard, or whatever the materials that they're going to need for that class. You want to make sure everything's in the same spot at all times. That way, when they're ready to work, they sit down and they have everything they need. Just like my desk behind me, I make sure that everything is here and it stays here so that when I'm ready to make a video or plan a curriculum or a lesson plan for my students, I know that everything's in the same spot and I'm not going to have to run around the house looking for a pencil or my charger or my headphones. I want to make sure that everything's in one spot ready to go, and that's what you're going to want your kids to have as well. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I do want to talk a little bit further about the flexibility. So making sure that, even when there's sick days and things like that, that your child is ready to take on a sick day because of because virtual learning is happening, I know from my school, it's going to be a little bit different for a sick day, right? They might still be expected to sign online because a sick day is not going to be just, oh, I'm just going to play hooky and stay home. If you're sick, we might still ask you to come on and, review the video for the day and still try to do the work that you can do. You may not be able to come to school physically, but with the virtual learning comes that aspect of, hey, that's fine. You couldn't make it to school because you're sick and you didn't want to spread any illnesses, but you're still responsible to do the work at home. So that may be something that you have to talk to your children about that they may not be used to or expecting. So these are the kind of things that you want to think about ahead of time when you go to have that talk with them. There's a lot of different aspects there that they're going to want to know and they're going to want to take, consideration for. I'm actually going to add down below my freebie guide to help you with this talk and what are some of the topics that you're going to want to go over with them, just so you have a kind of a guideline of, oh, hey, I forgot to talk about this, or what about a snow day, or what about these things that are going to come up where your district may have a plan and you want to make sure that you and your family and your children are all on the same plan, so it's not coming down to that wire the night before and it's like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting to, go online because it's a snow day. So I don't go to school when there's a snow day. Well, the thing with technology is that things are changing and growing, so snow days may not be a thing anymore. It may be, oh, okay, that's okay, we're going to learn from home today. I know that my school does that. We've done that for a while, for as long as I've worked there. Just because there's a snow day, we are still providing curriculum. We're still providing lesson plans and videos and work for kids to be doing. I know some schools do the Blizzard bag. If you've never heard of that, they have a bag ready and available at home. So when there's a snow day, the student or the child still has work to do. So because we're getting into this virtual day and age, these are some things that you want to take into consideration as a parent that, they may be happening. And what does that snow day look for you? What does that sick day look like for you? Because it might be different than it ever was before. And so talking and making it a serious conversation with your child now will be in the best interest for later when it comes to that time of, oh, hey, I'm just going to stay in my jammies all day and not pay attention to my virtual call. Where is that expectation coming from? Are they allowed to virtually learn in their room? Or is there a desk they can go to? Or is there a table that they can work at? I also have put together an entire course curriculum for this purpose. So, if you're sitting there saying, I have no idea what I'm going to do, I don't know what my plan is, I don't even know how to start a plan, I've created an entire course for you to go ahead and find all those things in there. I've added some freebies, some videos. I try to make it as interactive and visual as possible and to really help you get that school year started and, start thinking about these things that you want to go over now before the school year actually begins. So I'll also put a link to that course down below as well. And if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear them so I can help you and figure it out for you. What's the best way to navigate this virtual learning year that we're coming up on? So definitely go ahead and do that. And I also have a support face group that I can also try to link below for you. So if you're saying, hey, I really want some other moms to contact and get some ideas from, and I'm putting some hacks and tricks and tips and all kinds of things in that group. So you can definitely join the support group as well. And, go along the school year with us so we can all share and learn together. Okay, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Show me some love and support. I'd really appreciate that. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please hit that red button down below. And if you hit the bell, it will alert you anytime that I post a new video. I would really like to help you this school year in not just virtual learning, but I also talk about mom life, productivity hacks, organizing hacks, and all those kinds of things to help you run your whole household a lot better. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.